I was going to talk about Kyle Rittenhouse today. I was going to do that whole thing. But honestly, I don't want to spend another day doing a video about people shooting people. I just can't. I'll do it tomorrow or whatever. But today, I would like to talk about a more pleasant subject. Right? Coronavirus. So, the coronavirus started in March, right? Like, I remember hearing about we're not letting the Chinese travel to the U.S. anymore. And I was like, good, fuck them. Like, that was all the story was, that Donald Trump is banning travel from China. And everybody was like, this is bullshit, man. Fucking Chinese are great people. And fucking Nancy Pelosi went down to Chinatown to say, hey, we're all having a great time down here, you should show up. And this, that, and the other fucking thing. Joe Biden did his fucking bit. Xenophobic bullshit, right? I remember that. And I was like, fuck them. Fuck the Chinese, man. Fucking restrict travel from all those shitty countries. Don't let any of their fucking people over here. Right? Can't trust them. Because here's the thing. They control their people with such iron fists and won't allow them to even so much as see the internet. Like the internet that you're watching right now, they don't get that in China. They get Chinese internet, which is Chinese shit. Like, it's all fucking Chinese propaganda. It's all this stuff. It's CNN. It's like government CNN. And that's all you get. They just tell you, this is what you think today. Right? That's fucking all they get. So anytime a Chinese person comes to the U.S., I don't trust them. I'm sorry. Because they don't do tourism. Chinese people don't go on fucking, they're not tourists. They don't fucking go somewhere as tourists. They're not allowed to think for themselves. What would happen if they came to the U.S. as a tourist and somebody showed them the fucking internet? Their brains would fucking explode. They'd have no idea how to handle any of this shit. So they're not tourists. Chinese people that are tourists are government spies, as far as I'm concerned. Every fucking one. Unless you've immigrated here, then you're a citizen. You're not a Chinese tourist, you're an American. Right? But seriously, man, have you ever seen Chinese tourists? Like, there's the joke all the time, there's the dudes with cameras. Those are Japanese people. They're not Chinese. There's differences between them. Just saying. Yeah, fucking Chinese people as tourists, really? You think you've ever seen a Chinese tourist? No, they're not allowed. So I'm like, alright, whatever, fuck them. Don't let their spies come over here. That's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, hell with them. Fuck away. And that was what I kind of thought. We're just not letting Chinese people come over here anymore. And I'm like, fine, fuck them. Right? And, and then, you know, oh, there's disease. Oh, shit, I didn't know about that. Oh, okay, well, it's much better than just fuck the Chinese, we're not letting them come over here anymore. I mean, as far as politically, that's much better. But nevertheless, you know, I'm like, oh, okay. And then everybody said, it's going to be fine. It's like the flu. And I was like, like the flu. Great, whatever. I guess I'll wash my hands more often. And cover my mouth better when I sneeze and cough and all that sort of stuff. And so, you know, and then March came along. And then everybody went insane. Straight up, everybody. I got sick. And while I was sick, everybody else went insane. Right? I mean, I was sick. Sitting at home. And all I did was watch Andy Lasso do competitions for randomized Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Literally for 1 week straight, I watched Link to the Past randomizers, I watched Hearthstone competitions, and I just pretty much sat in this chair, like this, and just, like, felt like shit for a week, right? That's all I did. I didn't watch news, I didn't care. I didn't want to know anything that was going on in the world. I was miserable. I didn't care about anybody else, right? So, then I come back from being sick, I come back from the dead, and I start paying attention to everything that's going on, and everybody's losing their fucking shit about this coronavirus. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And everybody's buying up all the toilet paper. And everybody's freaking the fuck out. And I'm listening to Donald Trump. Donald Trump says, look, it's a really nasty flu. You treat it like the flu because that's how it spreads, as far as we know. Don't cough on people. Don't sneeze on people. Don't be a dick. You're spreading disease. And wash your fucking hands as much as you can stand. And watch how long since it's been since you washed your hands before you fuck with your mouth. You know, all the flu season shit that they tell you to do every year, you should actually do that shit. Right? And then, that was what I said. I said it's a really nasty flu. It's a flu that'll kill you. And the flu will kill you. So if I'm specifying that this flu will kill you, and I don't usually say it's the flu, you know that'll kill you because it's the flu. It doesn't kill that many people, right? It kills a lot of people. It doesn't kill that many people. It's not killing 50% of the people that get it. That's a lot of people dead from the flu, right? But I think it's 0.06 or some shit like that, or 0.6 or some shit like that. That's low. People die from disease. It's not heartless to say that it's the acceptable loss. You know, people are gonna fucking die from disease. Shit happens, right? It's how people die. We don't seriously think that people should live forever, do we? Do we honestly think that people should live forever? Nancy Pelosi, if anyone, should tell people that certain people shouldn't be doing certain things for forever. She has been in charge of things way longer than she should have been, right? People gotta die at some point. We're having babies, man. We gotta make room for new people. So sometimes people die from disease. And it's very sad because generally that's when you're dying before your time. And that sucks. People fucking die from disease. It happens all the time and there's no way you're gonna stop it. So shut the fuck up. So yeah, more people are gonna die from this. Instead of 0.6, it's like 1.3. That's ridiculous. That's like double the amount of people. It's still only less than 2%. Nevertheless, fuck it, whatever. That's a lot more people dying from this flu. Ooh, right? And that's kind of the way I more or less talked about it. It's the flu. It's really nasty. It'll kill you. You know how nobody ever says, you know the flu will kill you? This flu is going to kill you. So be careful. Wash your hands, shithead. That was it. That was really all anybody needed to do. That was really all anybody needed to know. That was pretty much the fucking deal. Right? Do the flu shit. Stay away from strangers. They might be sick. Or, as we call it now, social distancing. Right? Get it? You get the similarities? It's the flu season. People out there are going to have the flu. Okay, well, I'm going to avoid strangers because I don't know if they got the flu. And people that I talk to, anytime they sneeze or cough, I'm going to go, you got the fucking flu? What's wrong with you? Right? I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to wash my hands before I eat, as opposed to whatever the fuck I feel like it that day. I took a shit, so I'll wash my hands now. And then 3-4 hours later, after I've been rooting around in crap, I'm going to go eat with dirty fucking hands. No. You're not going to do that. It's flu season. Flu. There's a really nasty strain of the flu running around this year. Could kill you. Apparently it's killing twice the amount of people as the flu kills. Which means somebody out there might actually notice that shit. Right? Because how often do you hear stories about the fucking flu killing people? Almost never. Yet it kills like 13,000 people a year. This kills 26,000 people a year. So, you know, whatever. And then, like, everybody started getting it. Everybody started getting it. And I thought to myself, dummies, what did we tell you? The flu season shit. Do it, stupid. Why aren't you doing the flu season shit? I'm not getting sick. I'm staying away from everybody. And I'm washing my hands before I eat. And I don't fuck with my face as much as I usually do. I try to not do it as much as humanly possible. Why are you doing that? I'm fine. I was sick, now I'm fine. Why is everybody getting sick? But everybody was getting sick, and then it was like, okay, well, maybe this is like super contagious. Like, what the fuck is going on? And apparently, yeah, it's about as contagious as the fucking, what was it, the rage virus or whatever it was. And 28 days later, where the guy was telling the story about how everybody was packed into the bus station or whatever the fuck it was, and one person had it, and then they died, and then it just spread through everybody. Yeah, like, there you go. Like, that's kind of what it was. And it was like, okay, well, this is some really virulent ass shit. We're gonna have to really think about doing something. And they said, shut everything down. Shut it all down? Fuck it, shut it all down. Huh? Yeah, shut it all down. Everybody fucking lost their minds. And they said, well, fuck thinking about what to do. Stay at home. Shit. Okay. And then as we all sat at home and waited, they said, you know what? Maybe you can be around other people, but you gotta stay 6 feet away from them. And wearing a mask, probably not a bad idea. And everybody went, so, okay, so I go back to work? No! Fuck you! Shit shut down! What am I gonna do? For, like, food and stuff! I don't know, we'll have to figure that out. We'll have to figure out some way to give you guys money. You know, we gotta get used to that. Because if Joe Biden becomes president, everybody's gonna have to get used to just not going to work and getting money from other people. I don't know how that works, but Democrats can figure it out. They're geniuses. So, we gotta get people used to getting on the government tit. Alright. So now we all sit at home and wait for the government to feed us and pay our bills. Oh wait, we're not paying bills, we're just deferring that shit until later on. When you can go back to work, like the day you can go back to work, that's when we'll want our fucking rent money. But until then, we'll just let you slide for now. We'll just keep a tab. Awesome. Alright. Well, that's great. So now we're working up more debt for people. Fantastic. So, okay. Well, let's pay people to stay at home. Like, literally, let's just pay people to stay at home. We'll give people a better living if they just stay at home. And, of course, Bernie Sanders was fucking all for that shit. Oh, boo-hoo. So Americans are going to get some extra money. Ugh. Except now, there's like 20 billion people out of fucking work, and everywhere I go, I see help wanted signs. Wait a minute. How does that make sense? I don't. The Democrats will figure it out. They're geniuses, right? So, yeah. Okay. And you know. And now, in retrospect, hindsight being 20/20, and of course, why listen to the fortune teller? The guy who pretty regularly now predicts the fucking future. We found out, well, you know what? We've kind of been flubbing the math. Tad. And, you know, like, we consider somebody dying with COVID as having died from COVID. So, like, let's say there's an accident and dude's arm goes through the window, it cuts his fucking arm all up, arteries just fucking slashed, all the shit. Dude lasted 20 seconds at best before he bled the fuck out. And then we take him in, take him to the morgue. We gotta test him, because if he's got COVID, you know, we gotta way biohazard shit, right? We got to figure out how we're going to handle this. So we test him, and oh shit, he had COVID. We'll mark him down as dead, and mark down that he had COVID. And then they come along and go, well, how many dead people with COVID? Oh man, it's been like 20,000 today. Fucking really? Yeah, it's crazy. There was this giant pileup on the road out there. A couple thousand people died. All of them had COVID. Oh, okay. So 20,000 people from here died with it. And then that gets filtered to died from it as the game of telephone goes along. This guy had a heart attack. A heart attack, you say? Oh, that sucks. What a shame. Well, at least he didn't have COVID. Oh, he had COVID. Oh, shit. Did the COVID give him the fucking heart attack? No. No. He just had a heart attack. But he did have COVID. So, fucking had COVID and a heart attack? God damn. All right, we'll mark him down as a dead guy with COVID. So how many dead people with COVID? Jesus Christ, 10,000 today? Oh my God. So we actually find out that around about 6% of the people that we are still saying died from COVID, it's more like 6% of that actually died from COVID. So, you know, shucks, we got that wrong, boy howdy. And it's actually less lethal than the flu. But it's, man, people can catch it like that. It really fucks you up. Well, is there anything we can do? Like, is there any way to mitigate the damage of the fucking disease? Well, yeah, there was this one thing that looked promising, but then Donald Trump said that it looked promising, so we had to take that utterly off the market because Donald Trump said it looked good, and they debunked the shit out of that. So, except now we're kind of finding out, yeah, it's actually not all that bad. It actually works pretty damn well. But nobody's allowed to have it still because Donald Trump said so. He didn't say nobody's allowed to have it. He said everybody should be able to have it, and that's why nobody can have it. And what about other things? What about, you know, if somebody gets it and recovers from it? Oh, that doesn't happen. Nobody gets better from it? Well, actually, yeah, people have been getting better from it. Oh, okay. So, like, you know, they have antibodies and shit? Can we figure out a way to harvest them? Yeah, well, you know, there's no guarantee that that's going to work. I mean, the convalescent plasma isn't the thing that, you know, works. We don't really know. I've never, what did you just call it? Convalescent plasma. Never heard that term before. Where'd you come up with that? Oh, it's been around for decades. We've been using it for fucking all sorts of shit. So can we use it for this? There's no guarantee it'll work. Okay. And then they use it and find out it works pretty fucking well. It's actually not half bad. And so now we more or less have a vaccination that has to come from other people. Like, that's pretty much a vaccine that you get from other people, right? So we have to harvest other people's, you know, plasma to get that vaccine. That's how we create it. It's not like the kick-ass vaccines that they just go, make vaccines, and it just goes and pours out vaccine. Or however the fuck that works, I don't know. I've never seen the How Is It Made episode of that, so. But, yeah, right? So now we're actually literally harvesting vaccine from people, right? And we figured out that, you know, it's really bad for, like, old people because old people have that terrible wasting disease called oldness. And we found out that it's extremely bad for people that have, you know, like, no immune system. Go figure. We find out that it's really bad for people that have fucked up lungs because it fucks with your lungs. So if you've already got really fucked up lungs, you don't want to get this because it's going to destroy your lungs. Like, it's just going to obliterate them. You're not going to have lungs anymore. You're going to have, like, that one sack that's kind of like a plastic bag. You know, that's what you got now. So, yeah, we found out it's really bad for, like, anybody that's got some sort of something, right? But for the most part, most people are fairly healthy. So for the most part, most people are fine. And really, you know, we probably didn't need to shut everything down so hardcore. I mean, if we would have just done like masks and social distancing, or as I like to call it, staying away from strangers because it's flu season. Well, I'm just stupid. If we'd have done that, you know, boy, that probably would have fucking really done us some good. So in other words, all the shit we've gone through in the past 6 months or so, all we really needed to do was highly recommend that people wear masks and actually pay attention to flu season shit. That's really kind of all we really needed to do. I mean, we'll never know for sure, right? As Tim said, and I love this quote, we don't have a control planet with which to test this on, right? So, who's to say who's right? But as we're finding out, the Democrats are fucking with numbers to keep the numbers high. It's actually really kind of more like 6%. We're finding out a whole lot of fuckery was going on with all of this. And we're finding out it's really not terribly all that bad. At least not as bad as everybody except the president and myself made it out to be. And I hearken back to that comment. Do I regret being so glib about the coronavirus? And I go back to my response. No, I think a lot more people should have been a lot more glib about it. Actually. And I you know, will continue to say, no, I do not regret my glibness. Yeah, I think a lot more people should have been a little bit more glib about it. But, yeah, I mean, and the shit, like, people at work, man. Some of the guys I work with a lot of women. For as male-dominated as the warehousing industry is, I work with a lot of women. And I actually have a funny story about a woman that came to apply for the warehouse that I'll tell you real quick. Because it's a real quick story. She came in, she interviewed. They loved her. They hired her. Like, you're going to work in the warehouse, which is what she applied for, what she said she wanted in the interview, right? They sit her down. They say, all right, here's the tow motor safety video. You know the ordeal. You got to watch this, do the test, blah, 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 right? She sat there, watched the video, took the test, came out, handed the test in and said, I'm not going to be expected to drive a tow motor, am I? And they said, yes. And she said, oh, I'm very sorry to have wasted your time. Got her shit and walked out and left. I would love for the feminists to come after my industry and complain that there's not enough women in it. Because I gotta tell you, I have the same complaint. I worked with a girl one time in a warehouse. It was pretty awesome. She had big old fakers. That's right. As Mel Gibson calls them, big old fakers. She had giant big fake titties, right? And there was a point in which everybody in the company, it didn't fucking matter what you did. It was like Back Safety Awareness Month or some shit. Everybody had to wear a back brace. We all got issued back braces. Everybody had to wear their fucking back brace. And her back brace covered her from here to here. So her tits were just presented. I mean, everything else was sucked in because she's wearing a giant fucking girdle. And her tits were just... If every warehouse could have that woman in it, every warehouse worker would be very happy. I'm telling you, there ain't enough women in my industry. God damn it. And it's one of the ones they never bitch about. Go figure. Probably because you actually have to work for a living in that industry. And pick things up and shit. But nevertheless... guys I work, a lot of girls where I work. Bitches, as we call them. This one dude's like... I just don't understand why the president doesn't just mandate fucking masks and just say everybody has to wear a mask. It's the law. And I go, well, first of all, the president doesn't write laws. It's Congress and Senate that they do the law shit. So the president can't do that. And he's like, he can just make an executive order saying that everybody has to wear a mask. And I said, well, he could, but it's unconstitutional, so he can't. And he said, no, he can't. And that was his argument, that he can, that he could do it. And I was like, dude, I can just flip over this desk and say, fuck it, I quit, and walk out of here. But then I need to go get another job. So I really can't. I could, but it would be fucking stupid of me to do, so I really can't. I understand it's a self-imposed can't, but I can't. If I'm going to quit, I got to find another job first. This is kind of the way it works, right? So the president he could sign an executive order that says everybody in the country has to wear a mask. But it's unconstitutional. It'll immediately go to court. They'll overturn it. So he really can't. Like, he can do that just for the giggles, but then they'll say no, and so he can't. And he's like, well, he could. He could just do it and just do it. And then everybody would just be like, that's awesome. We just all need to wear masks, and then fuck it. And I'm like, that could happen. But it won't. And he's like, but it could. And I'm like, but it won't. And that was the end of the discussion as far as I was concerned. Because fucking, no, he can't. Yeah, he could. But he can't. Like, and here's the funny thing. If it was Obama, he could. He just could. Obama did a lot of shit that he couldn't really do, but he did. And since nobody said fucking no, he did. He just did shit because I just want to do this. And he just did shit. And then Donald Trump came in, and remember, first couple of months Donald Trump was in office, the memes, all the books, he'd open it up and it'd say cat, and it's Donald Trump, you know. All those memes, those were actually things that were going on. He was executively ordering away all of the horse shit that Obama just executive ordered in. Obama just made up a bunch of crap, and Donald Trump said, this is all made up crap, and just got rid of it all. Because it was all made up crap that he couldn't really do. It's just, he did. And nobody said shit. Right? Now, this isn't Obama. This is Donald Trump. Donald Trump can't do anything without every Democrat in the country fighting it. Resist, right? Remember? So, he could, but he really can't. Because he could do that shit, and then every Democrat in every state would fucking sue, and then it would all get overturned, and they'd say, you really can't do that. And then, again, Donald Trump would have given us another beautiful civics lesson. What the president actually can't do. A lot of shit. Amazingly enough, we find out, all we needed was to have Obama get voted out of office. And then we would find out all of the shit he did that he wasn't really allowed to do. Thank you, Donald Trump, for teaching me how the American government works. Even though I did pay attention when Obama was president, and that's why I don't like him. Understand? So now Joe Biden says, well, I would fucking mandate masks because Joe Biden was vice president under Obama, who was just allowed to do shit, even though he wasn't, right? So Biden's like, well, I would just do it. I would just mandate it. And then we all got our civics lesson. And then Joe Biden came out and said, yeah, I can't really do that. You can't really, no, I couldn't really do that. And then they said, but Joe, you're the not Donald Trump in the room. Donald Trump says he won't do it. So therefore, and Joe Biden goes, I'm hungry. And they say, no, therefore, you Can do it. Yes, we can, because that's the only thing Joe Biden has hammered into his mind for 8 years straight. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can. Yes, we can. So Joe Biden comes out and says, well, I've got lawyers looking at it. And they seem to think that I should be able to do it. But I've got lawyers looking at it, you know, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you could do it, would you do it? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I would mandate masks, yeah. Iron fist, yes, 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 we can. So, and then Bill Barr comes out, I guess like yesterday or some shit, and is like, you know, the lockdowns, not counting slavery, are the worst fucking shit this country has ever done. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, all right. So, yeah, fuck. I don't know. This is like, this is the whole situation. Like, as it's progressed. Now, there's also, Donald Trump is saying that we're going to have a vaccination within a couple more months. He said before the end of the year, we're going to have a vaccine. And he said, and there's going to be millions of doses already. And everybody went, fucking what? Well, look, man. Project Warp Speed. And then doctors are coming out going, we'll probably have it in another couple months. Man, maybe not. It might not be by the end of the year. It might not be a Christmas present for everybody. But certainly by like January, February, we'll have something. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what everybody's saying. So, and then, you know, of course, the Democrats have to come out and really fucking hammer how that couldn't possibly happen. So then they get this doctor and they say, how long before everybody, before anybody who wants one could have a vaccination? And he goes, before anybody, like, second, third quarter next year. Second, third quarter 2021. And then they go, Donald Trump is lying. He's saying that they're going to have a vaccine before the year's out. And this guy is saying second, third quarter of next year. And then they said, well, we'll have a vaccine, but it takes time to produce enough so that anybody who wants one can have it. That'll probably be around second, third quarter next year. But yeah, we'll have it by the end of the year. And since we've got all these vaccines that are in testing, third phase testing, they've said, fuck it, we're just going to make it. We're going to make as much of it as we possibly can while it's being tested so that when it comes back good, if it comes back good, then we can go, guess how much we got, motherfuckers? And there you go. They're manufacturing vaccines right now. They are literally manufacturing vaccines right now for the coronavirus. How close are we to having a vaccine? They are mass manufacturing it as we speak. So I don't fucking doubt the president when he says we're going to have a vaccine by the end of the year. I honestly don't. And I don't doubt him when he says that we're going to have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions, whatever the fuck he says. I'll buy it, sure. And like now the argument is, well, the president is just promising too much. He's just promising too much. What he should do, and this made me laugh because it reminded me of Star Trek The Next Generation. He said what he should do is he should say, you know, middle of next year, that'll be when we have a vaccine. And then when it happens sooner, he can go, wow, it happened so much faster than I even thought. Right? That made me laugh. Because that reminded me of the Next Generation episode where they found Scotty from the original Star Trek, they found Scotty like on some fucking ship somewhere, right? So now he's with the Next Generation crew. He's with Geordi LaForge in the fucking engineering, right? And then, you know, the fucking captain calls down, or I think it was number 1 called down, said, Geordi, how long to get, you know, blah, 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 fixed or whatever the fuck? And Geordi goes, oh, that should take about an hour. He goes, all right, well, let me know when it's done. He goes, all right. And then Scotty looks at him and he goes, how long would it really take? And Geordi goes, about an hour. And he goes, no, you don't tell him that. You tell him it's going to take 12 hours. Then when you get it done in an hour, that's how you become the best engineer in Starfleet. And I'm like, there you go. No. The president shouldn't tell us when it's going to be done. He should tell us it's going to be done in like 3 decades. Then when it happens in a couple of months, be like, wow, I did so much a better job than I thought I was going to do. They're using the Scotty defense, the Scotty argument. No. You way overestimate the time. Then you look like a fucking hero when you get it done faster. Thank you, Mr. Scott. Yeah, so, like, the whole COVID thing, like, as it's progressed, it's made me laugh. And when it started, it was making me laugh because everybody was buying all the toilet paper. And that, of all things, just seemed fucking ridiculous. And then I started seeing people with toilet paper thrones because they fucked up and ordered way more than they thought they did. And the people giving away toilet paper and shit like that in the beginning, fucking hysterical. Priceless shit. And then as things have gone on and we've learned more and more about our overreaction to this, it just, I don't know, makes me laugh. Because again, nope, I do not regret being glib. And I really wish a lot more people would have been. Because perhaps there wouldn't have been a time where I had to wash my ass every time I took a shit for about a month. Perhaps that indignity could have been saved myself, and a whole lot of people wouldn't have had to sit in fucking food lines, and a whole lot of businesses wouldn't have had to close down, a whole lot of people wouldn't have had to lose their livelihoods. A whole lot of shit just didn't seem to need to happen. But hey, just remember, stay inside. 15 days to flatten the curve. Only 15 days. That's it.